Massive changes at Ibrox. Russell Martin's plan to crush Celtic revealed. Shankland edges closer to a shock move, and Pröpper shown the door after a horror season. Rangers target Swansea City's defender as the rebuild kicks off, and the 49ers era explodes into life with bold moves and big money. You don't want to miss this. Russell Martin, barely in the door as Rangers boss, is laying down a marker, and it's a bold one. Everton have been sniffing around Mohamed Diamand, thinking they can dangle a bit of Premier League cash and walk off with one of our top talents. But they've been met with a firm, resounding no. Sources close to the club are telling us that Diamand isn't going anywhere. Not this summer. Not while Martin and the new Rangers leadership, backed by Andrew Cavenagh and the 49ers Enterprises, are dreaming bigger than just making up the numbers. They see Diamand as a cornerstone for the rebuild, a player to build around, not to flog off for a quick profit. The lad's only 23 and already turning heads since arriving from Nordsjælland. We've seen flashes of the kind of midfield dominance you need to lift silverware and smash that so-called gap with Celtic right in the face. Rangers aren't just holding out for more money later. They actually believe Diamand's best days are still to come in royal blue. That's ambition. That's a message. This new ownership isn't here to strip the squad for parts. Over £20 million is being lined up for signing, and we've already cleared £4 million off the wage bill. With the likes of Haji, Balogun, and Lawrence away, there's space and cash for reinforcements without losing a rising star like Diamand. But let's not kid ourselves. There's pressure on Martin. Some didn't fancy him over the likes of Gerrard or even Ancelotti's lad. He needs to show that the board's trust wasn't misplaced. And what better way to start than by planting a flag and saying, hands off our best players. Now, here's the real kicker. If a club like Everton, bottom half Premier League fodder, think they can walk into Ibrox and cherry-pick our top midfielder, does that not show just how little respect English clubs still have for Scottish football? Should Rangers now refuse any approach from down south, no matter the fee, to finally put English clubs in their place and stop being treated like a shop window? Well, it's official. Pröpper's brief and bumpy spell at Ibrox is coming to an end, and quite frankly, it's no great loss. The Dutch defender signed for £2.5 million from FC Twente just last summer, has reportedly sealed a return to his former club for less than half that price, around £1.2 million. A painful haircut for Rangers, and yet if you watched him over the season, it's hard to say he was worth much more. Calamitous errors, a complete lack of authority, and a shadow of the captain he once was in the Eredivisie. He racked up 43 appearances, sure, but leadership, influence, presence, nowhere to be seen. For a man who was brought in to steady the ship, he ended up poking more holes in it than patching anything. And now, less than a year later, he's off back to Twente with a 3-year contract in his back pocket, and Rangers left licking their wounds from yet another recruitment misfire. And let's be honest, this isn't just about Pröpper. He's the latest in a string of signings that simply haven't cut it. Oscar Cortez might be next in line for the lost column. Niels Koppen, the man responsible for bringing them in, is already out the door. Another casualty of poor decision-making behind the scenes, with Kevin Thelwell now steering the recruitment ship and Russell Martin coming in to lay down a new vision. This has to mark the end of the old regime's scattergun approach to transfers. The days of gambling millions on players who can't handle a Glasgow winter or a Celtic derby must be over. And here's the real rub. Is it time for Rangers to put a full stop on signing players from foreign leagues unless they've proven themselves in a battle-tested environment like Scottish football or the English Championship? Do you trust another unknown import to handle the heat of Ibrox, or should Rangers stick to signing players who already know What it means to bleed for the badge? Well, here we go again. The Lawrence Shankland saga is back in the spotlight, and this time there's fresh fuel on the fire with Russell Martin now firmly in place at Ibrox and the Cavenagh 49ers era officially underway. The ink is barely dry on Martin's appointment, the microphones still warm from Thursday's press conference, and already Rangers are casting their eyes across the league, and where else to look but Tynecastle. Lawrence Shankland, the goal machine with a knack for turning half chances into heartbreak for defenders, is out of contract in a matter of weeks. The new recruitment team at Ibrox is watching closely, and rightly so. You don't ignore a striker who's bagged 56 goals and 16 assists in just over 100 games for Hearts. He might have dipped to 8 league goals this past season, but that was a Hearts side in transition. Shankland was still dragging them through games more often than not. Now, let's not pretend we'd be alone in the race. West Brom, Southampton, even clubs abroad have been circling, and he's already turned one offer down from overseas. But here's the twist. He's talking about a new deal with Derek McInnes. Hearts want to keep him. You can see why. But you know better. You've seen Rangers stumble in front of goal far too many times last season. You've watched as clear chances went begging and crucial points slipped away. Now imagine Shankland in front of the Copland feeding off Tav's deliveries and slamming them past Celtic keepers in Derby Day madness. And the best part? He could arrive for free. There's pedigree, there's hunger, there's a Scottish spine. All things Rangers need right now. But here's where it gets spiky. Would signing Lawrence Shankland actually show ambition from Rangers, or does settling for a Hearts free agent send the message that we're shopping in the bargain bin while Celtic keeps splashing millions? Harry Darling, the out-of-contract Swansea City centre-back, is now firmly on Rangers' radar. And the link? Well, it's no coincidence. Martin's already signed him twice before, once at MK Dons and then again at Swansea for £1 million. If there's a defender the new boss trusts to do the job, it's Darling. Now, 25 and with bags of championship experience, Darling's been a near ever-present for Swansea over the last 2 seasons. He's strong, solid, comfortable on the ball, and even chipped in with 5 goals from the back last campaign. That's not just defending, it's adding value where it matters. Let's be honest, Rangers have looked fragile at the back far too often. And with Robin Pröpper on his way out and a major clear-out underway, this kind of signing makes perfect sense. Experienced, free, and already familiar with Martin's style. There's no settling in period here. Darling would arrive ready to slot straight in and raise standards, but there is competition. Birmingham City, Norwich, Stoke, even Wrexham are sniffing about, yet only one of those clubs offers the roar of Ibrox, the lure of European football, and the chance to fight for titles. If Darling's got ambition, he knows where to come. Is Harry Darling actually good enough to lead a Rangers defense chasing the title? Or is he just another championship-level player who'll crumble under the pressure of the Ibrox jersey and the weight of stopping Celtic? Russell Martin's first words as Rangers manager aren't just lip service, they're a blueprint for revolution. And make no mistake, he's not come to Ibrox to play second fiddle to Celtic, unveiled in Glasgow with all the usual fanfare. Martin's message was sharp, clear, and exactly what you've been waiting to hear. He knows the challenge, he's seen the gap, and he's not here to admire it, he's here to close it. The new gaffer's signed on for 3 years, but the ambition he's shown in just 3 days feels like a shot of adrenaline through the club's spine. He's not hiding behind transition talk or slow rebuilds. He said it himself, we have to win, and we have to win a lot. That's not coach speak. That's the standard at Ibrox. He spoke about clarity, belief, energy, and momentum. And if you've been watching Rangers over the past few years, You know those are the very things we've lacked in big moments, especially in old firm clashes. Martin's also gone straight into conversations with James Tavernier, calling him hugely important. That's no accident. He knows that leadership in the dressing room will be just as crucial as any new signing. And speaking of signings, he's not wasting time. With Champions League qualifiers just around the corner, Martin's made it clear the squad will need reinforcements now. He's already working with Kevin Thelwell to bring in one or two faces quickly, possibly even before the end of the month. The message? No excuses. The standard starts immediately, but he also hinted at something else. Surprise is that maybe, just maybe, there are players already in the squad who haven't had a proper chance to shine under previous regimes. That's a challenge to the dressing room and an opportunity for those who've been written off. There's a real shift in tone here. Martin wants a team that doesn't just scrape wins, but wins in a way with pride, intensity, and a culture you can believe in. That's music to your ears after the stale, passive football that's cost us dearly in recent seasons. Still, here's the heat. Russell Martin talks a good game, but given his lack of top-level success so far, do you actually trust a man with no trophies as a manager to end Celtic's dominance and restore Rangers to the top of Scottish football? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.